What's good, guys? What's good, guys? What's good, guys? Welcome back to the show. Again, a little bit chill, but there is a lot of things to talk about. I do think that we are going to get a massive pullback. It might even happen earlier than I thought. Sorry about this. It might even happen earlier than what I thought. And if it does, well, I want you to be ready for it. And also, there's something that happened now that literally didn't happen ever, basically, in crypto. And I want to talk about that as well. And yeah, we have a bunch of things to bring up here. Let me give me a second here because we didn't pull in the comments. The comment section. Well, the comment section is in here now. Let me just pull this up. Publish. Here we go. What's happening is like wake up Fefe. People are saying wake up Fefe. Back to live mode. Here we go. I'm a little bit sick. I didn't even want to do a show today, but I think there are lots of things to talk about, and it's gonna be a much more chill, relaxed, much smoother show that we're gonna do today. But bear with me because it's gonna be an alpha packed show as well. Let's go. How you doing? A little bit better. Little bit, tiny bit better. Guess what Bitcoiners did yesterday? Flew under the radar for most people. Guess what? What did it do? Enlighten us. What did they do? But it has crazy wipeout. Real TPS is hard to measure because blockchain. So you already know what we're talking about. Let's jump in here. I don't know what the tech here doesn't work. Something is off here. It doesn't refresh for me. Cause I don't know what's happening, but this doesn't refresh for me. Okay. Cool. So anyway, just gonna jump into the show. So a couple of things to discuss. One of the things I want to start with is that Michael Saylor basically deployed the last bits. The last bits he has now, he's raising already again, and he's going to buy more and more, but he deployed his last 180 million. I mean, the guy had a decent run, to say the least. But he's almost out of completely cash. Now, there is a prediction that says that there will be $330 billion deployed into Bitcoin by 2030. I looked at this today and I saw this circling around, and I thought to myself, well, if this is true, if it is only going to be, I don't know why this the comment section is not loading here.
Switch to because of the top chat. Switch to live chat.
No, it's not. It's not because of that. It just simply doesn't. Is this the last one? Oh, it is the last one. Okay, good. Here we go. Okay, cool. This misspelled message. Okay, good. So he. I mean, if this is true, if this is going to be true, and it's only 330 billion by 2030, we've got a massive problem because Michael Saylor deployed about 25 to 30 billion dollars in the past 6 months, and Bitcoin hasn't done anything. And if in the next 5 years we're projecting a 330 billion injection from across the board, is going to be absolutely devastating. So I hope this is not true. But boomers don't really care. 425 million inflow into the Bitcoin ETF, which puts it to about 4 billion. It puts it to about almost 5 billion the past 2 weeks, which is absolutely crazy. So obviously, as I told you yesterday on the show, unfortunately, when we do see these major inflows, that usually marks a local top, which aligns very nicely with what I think is going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours, which is going to be a massive pullback. I don't want to say dump, but it is going to be a pullback. Now, the S&P went on a winning streak that we haven't seen since 21 years. Absolutely crazy. But it came to an end because there was a red candle coming. And for the first time this year, I think, we entered greed on the stock market. Now we come a long way, because if you look at the fact that some of the Magnificent Seven companies basically got destroyed. Tesla was down 65%, and now we have a little bit of a breakout. People say, and the question really is it a bull market rally? Is it actually a proper decent breakout and the rally from the ashes that we've seen, or what is going to happen? That's what we have to figure out. Stocks are up on the week. As we talked about it, this is Ben to Bubble. Spotify had earnings yesterday, I think. That's what I couldn't find yesterday. Up 13%, Uber up 7, Meta up 8, and Microsoft up 10 on the week. And in crypto, if you look at the week, it's not so good. So crypto held relatively great compared, like Bitcoin held extremely well compared to the S&P and the Nasdaq. But on the week, some of the tokens are absolutely destroyed. Where's Trump at? It's at $10. So some of the tokens got absolutely destroyed. Now, most of you have probably clicked in to know what the thing is that has never happened before. And I was actually very surprised, and I just wanted to share it with you because I think it's something cool, something different that I thought was interesting in the space. And that is the Kaspa upgrade. Now that the chat is moving, I'm just going to jump in here. It's the weather in Dubai. You're not used to it. Bro, I will tell you honestly, bro, I'm so under the weather. I came back here. I'm like, my nose is filled. Like my brain is frozen. It's just, the whole thing is just, it's crazy. So, yeah, bunch of stuff yeah, it's just, I'm just washed, completely washed. I'm bringing up something. I actually have something pretty cool for you guys as well. Yeah, it's good. I was considering whether we should do a live or not, but I think it was worth it because there's a bunch of things that I wanted to share with you, and there's a giveaway happening today as well, which I couldn't have missed. So like a lot of things. Give me a second here. I'm just opening up the chat here. Here we go. Alrighty. So keep it up, bro. Keep it up. Good day. What's happening? Welcome. Me too. Telfest. What is Telfest? What does that mean? Cause, what is Telfest? Do you know what Telfest is? Go down here. What is it? Seasonal energy. It's not seasonal energy. No. That's not what it is. Bro, I'm completely washed from alcohol and not sleeping and all that shit. So trust me, it's not allergies. City. How's your long arm? It's good, bruv. So saying drug. Not in Dubai, bro. Not in anywhere, by the way, but not in Dubai, definitely. Hit the like button. What's up, fam? All good. I'm going to Vegas. I'm keen to see what is the drug culture in Vegas. Is it like crazy drug culture in Vegas? Cause knows it is like it's cocaine for sure. Regular. Okay, let's go. So, I apologize in advance for today's show. But, there is Kaspa. And I've been hearing a lot about Kaspa. Everyone was going on and on about Kaspa. I've got a good friend called Kiwi. And he's been going about Kaspa is the best chain and it's proof of work and it's better than Bitcoin. And then I went to 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗙, the guy who bought Bitcoin at $1, and he publicly said to everyone to buy Bitcoin at $1. And then he was saying that how cool Kaspa is, and I was like, okay, you know what? And Kaspa is actually a major protocol, multiple billion valuation, but no tier 1 proper listings, which is actually quite interesting. No Binance listing, for example. It's kind of interesting, but they had a major upgrade. Now, what you have to know about this, the reason why I'm actually excited about it, and the reason why I'm actually going to buy some Kaspa, is because Kaspa is a proof of work blockchain, but it works on something called the block DAX. So when you have Bitcoin works in a linear block way. So that means that one block follows another, and then after 10 minutes, there's another block added, and after 10 minutes, there's another block added. So it's like the blocks follow each other every 10 minutes. Now with block DAG, or the way Kaspa works, is they can accommodate more blocks at the same time. So therefore, it's not a linear block. It's not a linear blockchain, but they can accommodate more blocks at the same time. Therefore, they are more efficient, more decentralized, more distributed, all that stuff. But what they did now, and it's also still proof of work, which means there needs to be the miners, or there needs to be a computational puzzle to be solved for a block to be created and transactions to go through. So it's not a proof of stake, so you can't really hate on it. It's original proof of work like Bitcoin with a lot of upgrades. It's like Bitcoin with some upgrades. What is interesting is yesterday they made an upgrade, which was the Crescendo hard fork that makes it possible for Kaspa to have 10 blocks per second. Now, why this is interesting? It's interesting because we're all talking about transactions per second. Everybody is bullish on transactions per second. I'm going to show you this table as well and all the different transactions per second that we can look at. But now Kaspa generates 10 blocks per second. Now, I'm not a tech guy, as you know, but the way this is super exciting is because theoretically, they can have between 200, so Bitcoin has about 7 transactions per second, right? Now, they can have about 200 to 300 transactions per second per block, and now they have 10 per second, and now they have 10 blocks. So they can potentially have 3,000 transactions per second on a proof of work blockchain. Why is this interesting? It's interesting because this can potentially become a direct competitor or an upgrade to what Ethereum was supposed to be before they transitioned into becoming a proof of stake protocol. So it's actually quite interesting. So it's saying, Yesterday, we've got a Kaspa bull in the house. Like 32 blocks next. So the upgrade is basically infinite. Yeah, so the Kaspa team is very cultish. The Kaspa community is very cultish. But nobody really, I mean, people did pay attention, but didn't really pay attention until this fork happened. And I do think that it will be very good for Kaspa. We're going to look at the charts very, very soon. But, so what they did is they went from 1 blocks per second to 10 blocks per second. And now they are calling themselves, they're calling themselves the fastest chain. But that basically means it's not transactions per second, but the fastest chains to produce blocks per second. Again, you know what, you can give it to them, but it is what it is. So they say that Kaspa is about to process 6,000 blocks for every 1 block Bitcoin processes. Again, absolutely bullish with the same infrastructure, but with much higher output. So you can see here how it functions after the upgrade. And what is really going to happen is that they're going to bring in the EVM compatibility. So you will have a proof of work decentralized blockchain just like Bitcoin, and you will have functionality of a proof of stake blockchain. So with proof of work, you will be able to execute smart contracts, you will be able to execute fast payments, micropayments. It's actually quite impressive what they're doing, and especially as Mark here suggested in the comments, is that they are actually going to move on further and further and increase the number of blocks produced per second as they go forward. So I actually am becoming super bullish on Kaspa. Now, I'm not saying you should go and throw your money at it because it's at a very high valuation. It's like probably like $2-3 billion valuation. I don't even know exactly how much, but it's probably a $2-3 billion valuation. Let's actually check it. But I think it's about that. I think it's about. Yeah, 2.5. Oh, good guess. So it's 2.5 bill valuation. 2.5 bill FDV, 2.3 market cap, because it's also proof of work, so there was no premium to no nothing. So it's actually interesting what is happening there. Now, why is this interesting other than the fact they have a lot of core features and whatnot? It's going to be better for miners, going to be better for developers. You will probably onboard EVM. The enable high-speed real-time interaction for apps and products, going to be very, very cool for micropayments or for smart contracts. And if you look at even transactions per second, is actually quite impressive. So of course you've got the big guys like Sonic, ICP, Aptos, all that. But if you scroll down here, the theoretical transaction per second, right? A theoretical transaction per second is what we're talking about. They would be faster than Tron theoretically while being a proof of work protocol, which is super interesting. So if they pull this off and they just upgrade the way they did now, they very well can become the top 10 fastest chains ever when it comes to finality and when it comes to transactions per second. So it's actually going to be super exciting to see what they go forward with. If you can go now, there is a bunch of summaries on X that you can find. But basically what it means is that boosting its block size to 10 blocks per second, positioning as one of the fastest proof of work blockchains with a through output of 3,000 transactions per second, 1 second confirmations, that's extremely fast, and the robust ecosystem. Kaspa is well on its way to achieve its goal to becoming an ultimate layer 1 solution for everyday transactions. Again, achieving all that while being proof of work, which is impressive. Now there is this table that basically compares Bitcoin and Kaspa. Now I don't think you should. I actually looked into decentralization, a number of nodes. There is about 350 public nodes on Kaspa. We don't know how much. I don't know how much it is on undisclosed nodes, but probably not as much as Bitcoin's. But if you look at the fact that you could potentially get into Bitcoin in early days, Kaspa could actually be very interesting. Again, it's quite high at 2.5 billion, but if you compare that to like 1 trillion, there's a massive upside potential here. So it could be very, very interesting. One thing 𝗙𝗪𝗏 told me actually what was interesting is that he said that Kaspa is superior than Bitcoin. It has all the characteristics. It's superior than Bitcoin, but the problem is Kaspa has founders, and founders will most likely get, you know, I'm not going to say what, but they're going to fall while they're shaving and shoot themselves 3 times in the head. Because if Kaspa would become what Bitcoin is supposed to be, or what Bitcoin is becoming. So we had to see that. But you see a bunch of different things here that's very, very interesting. Now this happened yesterday, 10 bucks per second. There will be USDC, USDT payments happening with a lightning speed. It's going to be very, very cool. This is what, you know, didn't happen yet and happened yesterday. And I think it's cool. So it's Kaspa bull. No. So I'm actually not a Kaspa bull, but yesterday I thought that and today is such a freaking boring day. I'll be very, very, very honest. And I was just like, you know, we should talk about this because this is actually interesting. So we're saying smash the likes. I'm not even. I'm too sick to ask for you to smash the likes. We have 500 people watching, 118 likes. What's good there, then? Chart has so much supply. 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗙. Let's look at it. Let's look at the Kaspa chart. Are we breaking below here? Hi. I mean, Kaspa is coming back beautiful. Look at this. I'm interested in buying Kaspa at 75.5. Oh, by the way, guys, if you don't know who I am, probably it's 500 people. Probably all of you know who I am. I'm not even going to introduce myself. Probably know. And FYI, we're going to go and we're going to have a TA show as every single day on, look at this, on the 𝗕𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗏 Club. This is my trading channel. There's a link in the description. And you can just find the show here, which I'm going to do proper TA on later here. But I wanted to give you a couple of things. There's not many people here, so I'm actually going to do the giveaway now and then just see where this whole thing goes. But I've got some giveaways for you. And one of the giveaways is from Albank. I'm going to do one now. Now, I said if you trade on my link, if you go down to the description, there's a link here. It says Albank. If you trade on my link, I promise, and you see it here. First of all, you get a bunch of benefits. Every single week, you get rebates based on your trading volume. So that's awesome. And it's not a trading bonus. It's not trading bonus. It's actual cash that you can withdraw. But I also said that every month, you're going to have 3 UID. They're going to have 3 top traders. And the 3 top traders will get an extra bonus, which is spot bonus. It's not trading bonus. You can withdraw this amount. The first one is 2,000. The second one is 1,000. And the third one is 500. Now, I got these numbers. So here are the UIDs. These amounts are going to be distributed today. So again, if you trade using my link in the description down here, Albank, every month, the top trading volume gets $2,000. The second gets 1,000. Third gets 500. These are the trading accounts. So this is the UID. If this is you, congratulations. Actually, the third one got way below. So it's like 837,000 trading volume to get $500. So if you just trade and do nothing else, just trade on the exchange, you're going to get these benefits. Plus, you get weekly rebates as well, depending on your trading volume. If you trade $1 million, let's say you get 300 every single week. Anyway, these guys is just an FYI. You are going to get deposited this, and we go on to the next month and the next week. So it's worth doing that. But also, I've got another present, which is from our other partner, also Albank. Just so you know, non-KYC available worldwide, 0% maker fees. Great stuff. Check them out. We've got another partner, Blowfin. Now, here's the thing. I promised that if you trade on Blowfin using my link in the description, what does it say that? I'm trying to figure out why does it say, why is this not the landing page that we used to have? Okay, so apparently it's not the landing page we used to have. But if you go down using the link in the description here, you come and you trade under my link. And I said, among the people who will gain or who will have $1 million trading volume, I am going to raffle a 15-minute consultation with me. So we do have, I think it's like 10 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people who achieved that. So here's how we're going to do this. So these are the UIDs. These are the trading volumes. And that means that everybody, again, if you use my Blowfin link, we're gonna do different. We are going on with this as well. But if you trade on my link on Blowfin and you have $1 million trading volume, you can win a consultation with me at the end of the month. And this is the end of the first month. So what we're gonna do is that you have to do a couple of things. One, I'm gonna actually raffle this, but I'm going to raffle. I didn't copy this into the thing, so we'll just do it. Can you actually make it happen with the raffle and then just send it in here? We might raffle it tomorrow. Or should we just raffle it today? Should we just raffle it today? Can you just set up like a raffle that I can show and just simply put the numbers in? That would be pretty sick. So anyway, I think I'm going to raffle this tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I think I'm going to raffle this tomorrow. We are going to raffle this tomorrow. But just so you know, it is happening with Blowfin. There's a link in the description, which is going to be the correct link going forward. And if you just click on the link and trade, and you hit $1 million trading volume, you are going to be qualified to have a 15-minute call with me, which is pretty cool. Someone's saying someone has some problems. We all know Fefe the Yefe. Yes, 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗪. Yes, I used your link. That's awesome. What's happening with 3.1 total? Still up before down. And we will look at that now as well. Let's look at the chart now because I think we can dip sooner than not. That's the honest truth. Let's look here. So here was my prediction, right? I thought that we are going to come up to the supply. Doesn't make sense that we don't. Now, there is one thing that we have to take under consideration, and that is FOMC happening. Now, FOMC is probably going to be shit, as it always is, tomorrow. So I would not be surprised if we would just not, we would just crash from here. But I can't step away from the fact that I said yesterday, until we break below this here, until we have a break below, let me just mark this as market structure shift, until we have a break below 2.85 on the 4-hour chart, this is not a confirmation. And even if that happens, and it happens not from a supply zone up here, I would not be surprised if this was just a trap. So, couple of things. If we break and close below on the hour and the 4-hour chart on the 2.85, I will start looking at buys. I will start looking at buys at 269, start looking at buys at 259. Before that, not interested at all. None, zero, not interested. So if, however, for some reason we just wick through and dip below and then start pushing, which I think should happen, and we come back into this 3.03 trillion mark, which should be the supply zone, I am going to short it. Now, the reason why I'm not going to short it here is because we came from no man's land. This is basically, you can see that it's a little bit of liquidation here and there, but it's no man's land here. So what I'm looking at ultimately is one, if we break below 2.85 trillion, I'm not going to short straight away. If we have a comeback and then we reject from there, yes, I'm going to short it. But ultimately, if we break below 2.85 on the hour and the 4-hour chart, I'm just going to start getting ready for buying at 2.69 and buying at 2.61. Around that or below that is going to have a 50% retrace on the daily. Or we can have, until then, I'm extremely bullish. I'm still in my longs. I'm going to take longs if we have a 5-minute confirmation. We're going to talk about it all in 100x Club. But if we just don't break below and we just start pushing, I am going to start looking for shorts from 303 and just short it all the way down to the 2.65-ish region, which will be the 50% daily retrace. This is the ultimate goal. Again, what I'm going to do, as always, I'm going to jump onto the 100x Club. This is my trading channel. There is a link in the description here. It says subscribe to Fefe's trading channel, and it will actually take you to this show. Literally straight after this show, I'm going to jump on here on live, so you can bring your tokens, bring your. Someone's saying Fefe, Pepe, please. We are going to do it. Come to the 100x Club. I'm going to analyze all the tokens and just prepare for the entries. I do think the pullback is coming. I'm still in my longs, but some of them got stopped out. If I see a 5-minute confirmation here, which would be a higher high above the 2.88, I'm going to get back into my longs, but I'm going to share with you all that on the 100x Club. Now, I wanted to share with you some random news before we jump off and before we do TA. One, India offers zero tariffs on both auto parts and steel from the United States. There is some moving forward with the tariffs. However, Japan's exemption from reciprocal tariffs, they said, hey, we should be exempt. United States says, no, thank you very much. So there is tension still happening, especially with China, Japan. But as you see with India, things seem to be moving forward. The SEC postponed the LTC, the Litecoin ETF, again, which is interesting. They said they are asking for public input, which is going to be very interesting to see how the public perceives this. SEC Chair Paul Atkins will be giving the keynote address at the SEC Crypto Roundtable on May 12th. Now, here's why I'm like, why is this even news, bruv? Why he's the chair at the SEC? Why is this even? People are like, holy shit, SEC Chair Paul Atkins will be given. Yes, because he's the chair. OpenAI Sam. He's stepping down, not stepping down, but stepping back. And he says that they are stepping back from going for the for-profit thing, and they will maintain their status as non-profit. This was a whole scandal that they started with Elon, and then it's been a complete shit show. But now he stepped back and he says, "Hey, we're going to stay non-profit," which is still not non-profit. But anyway, this is something that's been happening. Florida's strategic Bitcoin reserve bills are now dead. Both bills aim to establish state-held Bitcoin fund will not progress further. Am I even surprised? No. But this is something happening. And 𝗕𝗂𝗙𝗙𝗟, I don't know if it's in relation to that, but 𝗕𝗂𝗙𝗙𝗟 goes out and he says that Bitcoin reserve
Michael
will not
Saylor
happen,
is
basically.
talking his
Listen
book,
to this.
all right? The guy sells stock and pref shares and debt and then buys Bitcoin with it. The stock trades at twice the value of the inherent Bitcoin. That smells like something that ain't going to work long term. Just saying. I like the guy, but it has nothing to do with strategic reserve of Bitcoin, which will never happen because we'll never get buy-off on a bipartisan basis.
Look at this.
Off on a bipartisan, which will never happen. Reserve of Bitcoin, which will, I like the guy, but it has nothing to do with strategic reserve of Bitcoin, which will never happen because we'll never get buy-off on a bipartisan basis.
Which will never happen. Now, I just want to remind you, all of you who sent me this clip, this is 𝗕𝗂𝗙𝗟𝗟 as well, ladies and gentlemen.
If there's ever a place I could be that I'm not going to get in trouble, it's going to be at FTX.
Let me play this again for you.
If there's ever a place I could be that I'm not going to get in trouble, it's going to be at FTX.
So FTX, you know, the exchange that like went completely bankrupt? Yeah, so that's like the guy who's like saying that he's not gonna get in trouble there. So anyway, so don't listen to what he's saying necessarily. And then I have to do this. I love CZ, I genuinely do. But so there is this interview coming out. And I want first listen to this.
Market cap will be by the end of year.
Where will the total crypto market cap be by the end of the year?
Oh, maybe 5 trillion.
What do you think the price of Bitcoin tops at this cycle?
Oh, again, very difficult question. Somewhere between 500K to $1 million, I think.
Will Trump?
Oh, okay, so he's saying actually, okay, that's actually different. But he's saying, so he is predicting that the market cap of crypto is going to be around 5 trillion. So that's about 100% from here. I agree 100%. But what he also says that he believes that this cycle, Bitcoin goes to between 500 to $1 million. Now, Bitcoin's market cap is 1.8 trillion right now, right? So if it goes to 500,000, we're looking at a $9 trillion asset being Bitcoin. Okay, so that's massive. That's like almost, I don't even know what's the market cap of gold, but that's like almost overtaking. Let me just see here for a second. Gold market cap. 22 trillion, because it's gonna be half market cap of half of the market cap of gold. So anyway, this tells me two things. One, either we're gonna have the $5 trillion achieved this year, and the cycle extends so much that only Bitcoin is going to be worth 9 trillion. Or CZ is confusing things. Now, because I have much respect for CZ, I don't really think he's confusing things. But that means buckle the F up, because it doesn't really matter if you buy Bitcoin at 84,000 or 92,000, because we are going to straight to the moon, basically. Yeah.
Hi.
Guys,
Don't
I think this was the show today.
I want to fight.
This can't happen this guy, even if it would be amazing.
You haven't invested very
You hear the
heavily
music?
in Bitcoin. It looks
Going
like it's
down.
going down.
All right, guys. Depends on how the cycle will be. It will depend. Anyone else, same problem? I don't know what that is. Price prediction for Kaspa. We'll look at it. It's half a dollar, hey? I fuel my car with my own. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I don't agree. I'm happy. This can happen this cycle. Depends on how the cycle. Well, it could be 2026, 20. Exactly. No, I agree. Exactly the point. Exactly the point. What's the name for tune? Yeah, we need to get Kaspa to get this on. Guys, I think this was it. I appreciate you all. I'm a little bit under the weather. I appreciate you being here. We are going to jump on to the 100x Club, and I'm going to do all the token analysis now. So there's a link in the description. If you go down to the description, you can see subscribe to Fefe's trading channel, but also you can just search for 100x Club on YouTube, and I'm going to jump on there and do the analysis now. But also, you'll be able to just click here and get onto that video. So if you're rewatching, it's still worth watching all the altcoins, all the trades that you might need. Truly appreciate you spending time with us. I hope I will be back tomorrow, but I don't promise. I actually feel horrible, so I might just stay in bed. Stay safe out there. I think the pullback is starting soon, and yeah, I believe I'll see you in the next one.